What happens to the imagination when people live too long inside a black box system?
The imagination begins to shrink. When we're in a system, when we're in a old rigid system or that works, right? But we see it works. Maybe they're bureaucratic systems, colonial systems, religious systems, racial systems. You begin to mistake that. I say we, right? You, I, can mistake that for humanity itself, right? This is humanity. This is what it is. But imagination counters that. And Rubem Alves in Tomorrow's Child says, when you imagine, you do not accept what you see, right? You do not accept these patterns that hold you down. And imagination forces you to envision new futures. Forces you, not in a bad way, but in a hopeful way, right? To concretize what you see in the imagination by creating new systems, right? By creating new relationships that are not repetitive of the older systems, right? They're new. But we're trying to create something, so the imagination is needed there. And so I grabbed part of that from Ruben Malvez, but Whitehead and John Salas are definitely talking partners in this as well. The idea in John Salas where he says the logic of the sensible is to affirm contradictions. It's to affirm that there are difference of meanings, but that's the beauty that's found there, because the beauty in these different meanings challenges us and says, hey, that one way is not the only way. And Whitehead does the same thing. He does this beautiful thing of contrasts in which there's a background of everything, and we lift one up, but we understand that one piece is one of the many. And by lifting it up and only abstracting it a little bit, because abstraction is good, but it also has its problems. You can see something beautiful, but then you see it within the midst of the whole, the relationship. So systems are helpful because they may teach us about repetition and seeing things as altogether, but imagination really teaches us about becoming. How do we break the system and build something more?